I mean, what on that list I just named comes even close to Trap Queen? Name one. There's nothing. Those, again, are songs that you can sing with your...
Yeah, nigga. Jersey. Jersey. Jersey, nigga. New Jersey, nigga. Jersey. That's Jersey. That's Jersey, man. That's Jersey. Trap Queen. Never let go. Shooters, niggas don't really be shooters. Shit go left, I know how to. Shit go left, I know how to maneuver. I can get bread on the block of computers. I ain't bulletproof, but I'ma up first. I'm too paranoid, I don't be trust. Why music doesn't feel exciting anymore? A video by Matty Balls. Why? I'm not gonna lie to you. The name always gets me. But that's neither here or there. Let's watch the vid.
But lately, music hasn't felt as exciting as it used to. And I think that the numbers back this feeling up too. Billboard had to change their rules to pull songs from the Hot 100 if they've been on there too long, with NPR saying streaming services use algorithms that feed people songs they've already played. And that creates a doom loop that's allowed recent songs to stay on the charts for absurdly long runs. Which to me would make sense, because hit songs we all collectively enjoy feel few and far between these days. And I think there's a few main reasons for that. Now, I'm not one of those people who's saying that all modern music is bad or anything like that, or that they don't make good music anymore. There is a ton of great music coming out every single day. But what I'm saying is, it feels like the mainstream music, the most popular upper echelon music, just isn't as fun and collectively enjoyed as it used to be.
I'm not gonna lie, I was just talking to my girl about this the other day, right? I feel like, and y'all can say I'm glazing. I don't think I'm glazing. I don't think let's call it a conspiracy theory, right? Let's call it a conspiracy theory. I feel like, as far as mainstream go, bro, music as a whole, that shit ain't really, this was the theory that I had. You heard? The nigga who was the face of all this hip-hop shit, right? Drake. It kind of worked, keeping hip-hop like kind of like in the mix for the most part, because he's like overly consistent. The nigga used to always be dropping. Whenever there was a new wave coming around, he was just as consistent as whatever nigga was starting that wave, or, you feel me, or facilitating that shit. Like, he was always there in the loop, and he was the one, like, you know what I mean, controlling the traffic. You feel me? But I feel like after Kendrick Lamar had beat him in that rap battle and everything, you feel me? Like, look, bro, I'm a Drake fan, but you feel me? After that shit happened, now you got, it's damn near like Brody came through and was like, all right, I'm about to take that title real quick. Now niggas is waiting for bro. So now hip hop is like damn near, so like we going on the same accord as Drake for a while. Drake's overly consistent. He keep dropping, so he keeping niggas heard. You know what I'm saying? Keep dropping. The face of that shit was consistent. But then now, technically, you got a lot of people going like, okay, but damn, this nigga got beat in this rap battle. He can't be the face. He can't even hold up his own or some shit, right? That's what niggas is saying. So now, let's just say niggas is trying to crown Brody the face. Brody's not that consistent. He barely drops. Like, what the fuck? So, now, I felt like, because they gonna try to crown Brody the face, he's hip-hop in a way, right? To niggas, right? He's hip-hop. So now hip-hop only is consistent as Brody is, and he's not that consistent. We gotta wait for bro to come back and drop some shit, and then everybody, oh my god, like, might get some hip-hop songs on the chart or some shit. But right now, who knows? Like, right now, it's not looked at as that much, like, respected. You feel me? Or at least niggas not pushing the niggas who's consistent anymore, because now it's like, yo, that's not real. Y'all not really doing real rap. And all the niggas that is doing real rap, they don't drop as much as the other niggas. Hey, bro.
And in 2020. In 2010, we have TikTok by Kesha, Hey Soul Sister by Train, California Girls by Katy Perry, Airplanes by B.O.B., Love.
Bangers. I'm not gonna lie. Every one of these songs right here. I don't know, this shit make me feel old, low key. Cause let me see, TikTok by Kesha, I fucked with that. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck, man. I fucked with that shit. Hey Soul Sister, psh, come on. Hey Soul Sister, that's that song, right? That's that shit. Oh god, bro, that's that shit, bro. California Girls, come on, bro, like come on, bro, come on, bro. Man, these shit's big. just bangers, bro. These is real bangers right here. Love the Way You Lie. Bro, what the fuck? Bad Romance. Break Your Heart. Nothing on You. I think I know I like it. Bedrock for sure, bro. And I Got a Nigga. Grocery Bag. Come on, man. Come on, man. In My Head, I think I knew that song. Rude Boy, of course. Telephone, of course. Damn, these shits was all bangers. What the fuck?
Love the Way You Lie, Bad Romance, Dynamite, and many more songs that I'd imagine we all know and enjoy. Pop songs that are fun to dance to, fun to sing along to, fun to play with your friends, and things like that. And then in 2020, we have Blinding Lights by The Weeknd, Circles by Post Malone, The Box by Roddy Ricch, Rockstar by DaBaby, Life is Good, Never Need to Say So, and more. I do like The Box, but it just feels like the ones from the 2010s are way more classic. The songs from the 2010s feel like they're more fun, they aged better, and we all enjoyed them more collectively. How is 2025 gonna compete? Well, 2025's year-end list isn't out yet, but there hasn't been much change anyway, so let's take a look at 2024, which featured a bar song, Beautiful Things, I Had Some Help, Not.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I heard a bar song by accident. Tough though. I ain't gonna lie. Beautiful Things by accident. Tough though. We're not gonna talk about Not Like Us. Loving on Me by Jack Harlow. I fuck with Jack Harlow. You know what I'm saying? It didn't go on my playlist, but Sabrina Carpenter. I'm pretty sure she has a fan base, obviously, because I know she is. I think she's just pop. I've actually never really sat down and like on purpose listened to a Sabrina Carpenter song. So I mean, I'm obviously probably not the demographic. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? $1 Million Baby, of course. Come on, man. Like, come on. What the fuck? Were you like just not on TikTok or on your internet at all? If you never heard that shit, like, come on. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie to you. The rest of these bitches, I don't know. I don't know a lot. I don't know the rest of these shits at all.
Like Us, Espresso, $1 Million Baby, and more. Again, I could be alone in this feeling, but I feel like the songs from 2015 are just miles better. I mean, what on that list I just named comes even close to Trap Queen? Name one. There's nothing. Those, again, are songs that you can sing with your...
Yeah, nigga!
Jersey! Jersey, man! New Jersey!
Jersey! That's Jersey. That's Jersey, man. That's Jersey, man. That's Jersey. She my trap queen. I ain't never let go. And I can ride with my baby. I be in the kitchen cooking fun with my baby. Yeah. I get fine with my baby. That shit, bro. Oh, God, that shit hard, bro.
Like we all as a society collectively enjoyed these songs more. And to me, it just feels like that overarching feeling is gone. And it's hard to describe. Well, I don't think it's just me.
A pretty excellent selection of songs in this top 10. I'm genuinely optimistic about pop music these days. What the f*** happened?
Now,
what the fuck? I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. It's been to a point where I think I've been hearing way more better underground music in 2025 than even like mainstream music. Like the mainstream music is kind of more like I feel like you kind of got like you just train to fuck with some of this shit. You got me like and when I say that, right, like walk with me, right? You already know these are good artists. Like my brain when I listen to certain songs, like of course I get like a little thought if a nigga drops some ass shit, like oh man, the fuck is this? What the fuck? Like I don't know what the fuck you thought you was trying to do. Like, you know, feeding us this type of content. But at the same time, it's always like some kind of cope, like, alright, bro, this shit ass. I just go right back to this nigga better songs. Or whatever like that. But it's never really been like it's not that many new mainstream songs that's like going like, oh we put in the playlist. And then again though also it's what you want to consider mainstream. Like who do you call mainstream? Like, you feel me? Like who do you call mainstream? You could call Yachty mainstream. Not everything Yachty drops gets as a playlist. When Yachty collab with smaller artists, and everything, the way that shit come, I fuck with niggas' music. It depends if niggas consider Skrilla mainstream, or like Georgiana in the mainstream, or like what do you consider mainstream? Like what do you genuinely just like consider a mainstream artist from a upcoming or like a still kind of like underground kind of level kind of artist. Like, what do you call like a mainstream artist for real, or mainstream music? Because I mean, the two artists I just named, like, their music isn't hitting billboards. Like, Skrilla ain't going on billboards, and them niggas ain't going on billboards and shit. But the songs is still like they hitting. I don't know. Much that's on the billboards reached like to the point where it's like I don't even really give a fuck no more. Like most of the good songs is just they just got a lot of views. Like, fuck the billboard. Like they just be having a lot of views, or they just good. Like they just good, bro. Seriously. Easy.
Indie and underground scenes are full of more talent than ever before, but the mainstream is suffering. And I think there are a few reasons as to why this could be. One reason could be today's terrible economy and wealth inequality. I mean, I'm spending $60 at the grocery store for some eggs, chicken, and yogurt. It's crazy. And one tool that can help you with this is Current. Current is a mobile banking app that has plenty of...
This shit was a fucking ad. He leaned into a fucking ad, bro. This nigga... Respect it though. You gotta respect it though. $60 for eggs and chicken, and I don't know about that though. I don't know about all that though. I don't know what supermarket he's shopping at, but I don't think it had to be an over exaggeration.
Study looked at the top 5 Billboard songs from 1950 to 2023 and found that both rhythm and pitch became steadily less complex over that period. Conservatively, they have both decreased by 30%. This isn't inherently a bad thing, but it's just one of many studies that goes to show that pop music has been getting simpler. A study in 2012 showed that diversity of note combinations has consistently diminished in the last 50 years. Melodies are becoming more and more similar, and songs are relying on a smaller range of timbres than before. And I think the biggest driver of this is the streaming era and record labels. First of all, think about platforms like Spotify or TikTok. When Spotify took off, their unique playlist system was the standard for finding new music. To make it to the top Spotify playlist, your song has to work its way through the lower and mid-tier playlists first. And if your song is skipped a lot, it won't graduate, making it so artists might not be inclined to have a slow intro or too crazy of an intro. And when people are listening to playlists in the background, they don't want super crazy songs. So the focus isn't on giving people
I ain't gonna lie, yeah, that shit right there, I don't know. That shit right there. I just had somebody leave my stream yesterday because they said my intro was too long. Mind you though, it wasn't even my intro to the stream. The stream clearly was already, or maybe, could you really imagine? My shit was at probably like an hour, and I paused it real quick. Could you imagine if I would really have my loading screen into my Twitch for a fucking hour? Who the fuck do I think I am? I ain't gonna lie to you, cuz. But it's like, yo, bro, have a little patience. Niggas like attention span is like fucking garbage. Mind you, though, I think the person was in the stream for not even 10 minutes and said it was too long. Bro, I done seen fucking Kai Cenat have his shit rolling for like 15. Some of these niggas be having this shit rolling for like 20. Like, I don't know. You know what? I ain't dumb. You know what I'm saying? I ain't dumb.
Focused on a 10-second clip of their song, usually the chorus, hoping that one part goes viral. Whereas the rest of the track may be a little boring or repetitive or just brushed.
That happens a lot. I'm not gonna lie, that happens a lot. I've been a victim of it. You'll see a song or a nigga on TikTok promoting a song. I try not to be that person. Like, I feel like when you hear my music on TikTok, like the little parts you hear, it'd be hard for me to pick the best part, because I feel like the whole part fire. Oh shit, my bad. I feel like the whole damn song is good. So I feel like whatever part I pick and you hear it, when you go to the song, man, you gonna hear a bunch of other good ass parts. But I have been a victim before. Like, I've heard of niggas, like, it's been a TikTok and it's been like viral to a one specific part of a song, and I'm like, yo, this shit hard. And then you go look for the song, you search it around, like, but this shit too cold, this beat too cold, man, this shit is cold. And then you go find that shit, you bumping it, and either the intro's ass, the middle part is ass, or just the lead up to where the bar is. And a lot of times you just bumping it, just trying to wait for the part that you heard. You know what I mean? And by the time you hear the part you heard, sometimes either they done showed you more or better, or it's just like, okay, this entire song is like mad underwhelming for you to like wait up for this really good little 10-second part of the song and the rest of it to be so ass. What the fuck?
What the fuck?
Like, I ain't gonna lie to you. Weird. I think that shit like a weird level of clickbait. Like, it's a weird level of clickbait. Like, you know, like, we gonna think that shit cool because of that beat and that specific bar. But you know when we click on that shit, bro, that song really not cold.
Off. Another reason pop music all sounds kind of simpler and similar is likely because of how easy it is to make music now. Objectively, I think that making music more accessible has been a huge net positive and it has led to way more innovation, but it can also cause a couple problems. I saw a YouTuber named Lachlan Frazier made a similar video on this topic and brought up a great point.
Talking about how the tape sound that everyone strives for and loves isn't actually the saturation or compression that you get from tape. Instead, the tape sound that everyone wants but doesn't quite realize they want is the imperfections. Tape was expensive and difficult to work with. You really needed to be good at what you were doing, and if you were considering doing a retake, you really had to think it over and decide, do I really want to redo this whole take and waste more tape? And because of that, older records tend to have more flaws. But now with digital recording, you can endlessly record takes and then comp out a perfect take and then quantize it and run it through Melodyne and then stack 5 EQs and 30 other plugins on top of that.
We've perfected the soul out of music is a great quote from that video. And I think this leaves people yearning for some sort of imperfection in music. For example, when the SoundCloud era popped off in the late 2010s, a lot of the draw to that genre was the artist utilizing distortion. People enjoyed what most pop songs would have edited out at the time. Personally, I'm a big fan of this underground artist named Willie Crooks, who intentionally clips his kicks. If you don't know, clipping is a type of distortion when the audio is too high for the system to handle, so it just cuts off, and usually it sounds terrible. Basically, this is what clipping is. Me talking really loud into the mic, see the audio clipped, and now it sounds shitty even if it's quiet. But in his music, I think he makes it sound kind of cool. Or even vocal imperfections, like when an artist's voice cracks or messes up, can sound good. It makes the music sound so much more human. And that video by Lachlan was great. However,
I got a weird take for this too. It's the same thing as well. When you see like a nigga, I recently seen some shit like this like on TikTok. I think it's like somebody named, was it Jan or something like that. He did some song with like I think he did like a song with like with Zeddy. You feel me, bro? And not for nothing, the song's still hard recorded and everything though too. But it's like certain things like it be sounding like so tough when it's just like a raw version of it. Like when it's just the rawest version of that shit. Like I even feel the same way when I be recording my own music at the crib. Like it just be like written music when I write my shit, as opposed to like when you or like that first take be just different than any other take. You know what I'm saying? Like, and sometimes if you like you freestyle some shit to it, be like I used to do this shit a lot. When I got like on like a little stump of like writing songs, I just started like listening to beats and just freestyling on my phone, and I would just like listen to the freestyle over and like write it out, right? And a lot of the times I would like probably hear the freestyle and I would like, you know what I'm saying, write out what I said, try to fix it, and then it's like when I do that shit, it just motherfucking some songs will sound the same. Some of them be like, damn, this shit probably just sound like that because I genuinely either messed up that bar or now I gotta like, maybe I freestyled it and I had cut myself off at a point, but it sounded hard. So I'm gonna like redo it. And it may not sound that authentic. But it be different though. I ain't gonna lie, it really be different though. That rawness really be different.
I don't agree with all of his takes. For example, he said a lot of rap all sounds the same now.
Rap music, I would argue, is probably the biggest offender of this trend.
I'm just gonna say it. Let me not be ignorant, you know? Let me not be ignorant. He probably listens to a whole lot of Chief Keef.
They're not really offering the listener anything other than some vibes. And look, I'm not saying that every rapper needs to be Nas or Pharoah Monch or whatever, but it almost feels like being able to actually rap or write good lyrics is now somehow cringe in modern rap. There was a time when sounding like another
They call it boom bap. I mean, it's the young niggas though. Like they be trying to make that shit seem like it's ass. Like I personally I could listen to some Nas, right? but it's like niggas get hate whenever they say some shit like, oh damn, like I'm not throwing that on in the like, bro. For the most part, niggas don't just want to listen. Like you listen and vibe to this music, you just listen to vibe to by yourself. Like if everybody, you just got a group of niggas that just all want to be on that mindset, but most niggas want to just turn. Like most niggas just want to vibe, they just want to be whatever. Like you feel me? I'll bump some shit like that on my private time, like by myself. When you just want to sit there and vibe and you really want to just listen. You with people, like that's why they have different type of music though. But I don't never understand why people do that though. Like they make you feel like just because a nigga as a quote unquote like legend or they did whatever like that, right? You gotta just fuck with the music all around the board. Like there isn't different type of music for different shit. That's because a nigga say, oh, I'm not getting turned to like a Nas song or this nigga song. Why the fuck that gotta mean like, oh, he just not good or some shit like, or you think that nigga not good? Like no, it's just like it's different song for different shit. The fuck? Like you cracking shit to drill music? Some crazy kind of energy to have in the bedroom, bro.
Have the same flows, the same beats, the same subject matter, the same styles.
Producers be catching on.
Everything is the same.
And even though I disagree with that take, it's sort of an old head argument, and I think there's more diversity in rap than ever before. But I do think that rap is a big component of this dry spout we've been seeing lately. In fact, I just saw a headline that said, for the first time since February 1990, there are no rap songs charting inside the top 40 of the Billboard.
And they got the culprit right there. That's the picture. They got him right there. They got him right there. Hiding.
Hot 100. And apart from the Kendrick Drake beef, there hasn't really been much exciting music in the mainstream rap. Remember, this video is about upper echelon mainstream. For a long time, rap hasn't had an artist break out into the mainstream, and most of the artists carrying the genre these days are the older artists. This is important because for a very long time, rap has been the biggest genre by market share in the mainstream. As of 2023, it still was, but I'm not quite sure where it's at today. Regardless, in 2025, the best-selling albums were Kendrick's GNX, Lil Baby's Wham, Tyler's Chromacopia and Don't Tap the Glass, Cardi's Music, Drake's Some Sexy Songs for You, and Big X The Plug's Take Care. Aside from half of these being released.
That's tough. I didn't even bump the Big X The Plug shit. But that's hard though. He made it up on there with everybody else.
Released in 2024, the only new artist on this list was Big X. It really feels like rap hasn't had any big newcomers in the last like 3 years. And most of its newcomers who break through the mainstream have no staying power. Like Ice Spice, Roddy Ricch, Polo G, and a lot of these other artists. It's like, what are they doing today? Like they're not doing anything. And as a huge rap fan, please do not get me wrong. I think rap has a ton of great music coming out every single week, month, day, year, but it's just not breaking through to the mainstream like I wish it would. For example, we got 2 Chainz and Larry June's album this year, Yeat's EP, the Until Japan album, JID dropped, Earl Sweatshirt, Freddie Gibbs put out a phenomenal project, and multiple others. But none of these are going super big in the mainstream like they may have a decade or so ago. So no, I don't think that people think lyrics in rap are cringe. I think there are different styles and scenes that are enjoyable for their own reasons, and both of which I believe can have longevity so long as the quality of the music is good. I think one of the biggest artists number-wise who blew up these past couple of years is Yeat, and even he hasn't had a big hit song or become a huge mainstream artist. And think about the big 3, Kendrick, Drake, and Cole. Like,
okay, so we get a good idea of what mainstream like. So we're not gonna consider him mainstream. He just got motion. So that's the difference. Not everybody do mainstream. I'm not calling everybody mainstream. You see what I'm saying? You either it could be mainstream or you just got a little motion. Cool.
there is nobody that comes to mind that can replace those 3 in terms of quality music as well as mainstream staying power. So of course, I'm not one of those old heads saying hip hop is dead, but it feels like it's just kind of in a dry period waiting for its next big era to come out, like maybe the SoundCloud era. Unless you're listening to a pretty small artist or a big artist that is explicitly independent or on an indie label, they are at the thumb of these major labels. And major labels, especially when they have a large artist or an artist they're developing, they know how to make a hit. I made a video a while ago called Why Every Popular Song Sounds sounds the same. And of course that was an overgeneralization, but I'm going to play you a clip of that video to show you what I mean. Scientists have studied 464,000 songs and found that both melodies and sounds of instruments are becoming much more similar. Songs are also becoming shorter because of this, and streaming platforms are prioritizing those shorter songs, mainly because shorter songs are less likely to be skipped. In the past 2 decades, labels have even acquired technology that they can use to analyze music and predict what songs will be hits. They can use services such as Hit Predictor or Shazam to see what songs will blow up. Apparently, Hit Predictor was able to predict 48 out of the top 50 radio hits in 2013.
Yo, no bullshit. I really do remember when, like, Comethazine was dropping the Bosky tapes, bro. I remember in, like, 2018, I forgot which one of the Bosky tapes I had listened to. But that shit used to finish so quick, bro. But I think I was so, like, I used to be so cooking. It never really frustrated me enough, but it was like, yo, damn, like, we playing the first song, me and bro just sitting there smoking. Before we finished the first split, we already at the end of the tape. I gotta replay the whole tape again to go vibe out for another split or something. I'm like, yo, what the fuck?
There are actually even entire companies such as Next Big Sound which are dedicated to analyzing music and finding the next big sound. And you're probably thinking that if labels keep pumping out this generic music, people will eventually get tired of it. And while that may be true for some people, science says it actually isn't for the majority. In a study done by Columbia University in 2006, they showed some people music websites with a bunch of songs and told them to download their favorites. Some sites had rankings of the most popular songs and some didn't. It showed that people who saw the rankings were more likely to download the popular songs. They then did a second experiment where they did the same thing, but this time they sent out websites with the actual download statistics and then some websites with fake download statistics. The experiment proved again that believing that a song is more popular made people more likely to download it. Another study done in 2011 shows that the brain produces dopamine when people hear songs that they have played and heard before. This video is almost 3 years old now, and it's more true than ever before. Also, by the way, I've been doing YouTube full-time for 3 years, so I just want to say thank you guys, because that's dope. But yeah, what I mentioned in that video I think explicitly speaks to what I'm talking about here. Record labels are intentionally, scientifically, carefully crafting the most cookie-cutter songs with elements from every hit to create new hits. And I think this shows in a lot of popular songs today. If we look at the biggest songs of the year so far, we have songs such as Ordinary by Alex Warren, Beautiful Things by Benson Boone, Espresso by Sabrina Carpenter, and more. And these songs aren't bad by any means, but there's just nothing special about them. They're just pretty ordinary. Also, I'm excluding Pink Pony Club and Birds of a Feather because I actually really like those songs. But if we're being honest, Birds of a Feather probably isn't all that special either. On top of all this though, not only are labels pushing for these cookie cutter songs, but now they are straight up nostalgia baiting. What I'm about to tell you is kind of crazy, but you know how they have writing camps in the music industry? If not, it's basically where music industry people get a bunch of songwriters together, maybe looking to sell these songs to certain artists or asking the writers to write a certain type of vibe song, like write a love song. But now they have camps that are specifically asking writers to write songs using interpolations. I found this out when making my previous video called The Art of Stealing Music Legally. Interpolating is basically borrowing and repurposing a melody, somewhat similar to sampling. Then once these new songs that interpolate old songs are written, they're sold to artists throughout the industry, which is just insane to think about, that there are songwriting camps that instead of writing entirely new songs, are just remixing old ones for artists.
I could definitely see that shit. There's even the song that fucking Yachty and Georgiana just dropped. Like, I think she said, "Can I show my love I got for you?" I mean, I was sitting over there like, "Can I show my love for you?" Like, "Can I show my love for you?" Like, I already know, like, and I forgot what, yo, it was another song that I heard, and I was like, yo, bro, I know what you're referencing right now, man. I know what you're referencing right now. And it'd be crazy, too, when, like, the artists do it, and then they go viral or some shit for that part. And everybody's like, yo, bro, that was, like, so, what the fuck? But that was so different. The whole time, it was already a hit. It was already a hit. That's probably why that's just clicking in. And that's even what he said, like, yeah, people, the dopamine hit when they hear a song they already heard before, because that shit is clicking in your head. Like, yo, I feel like I heard this somewhere before. Yeah, because it's already made. It was already made.
to take advantage of this trend. And it's so successful because it plays on familiar melodies that labels and artists already know people like, repackaging them to a newer generation. Like I said, I did a whole video on interpolation, but it is truly fascinating. So clearly labels are meticulously crafting songs either based in nostalgia or data, which is what is resulting in things like songs sticking on Billboard for so long. Again, Billboard had to change their rules because these songs they're just stuck up on the charts for so long because nothing new is coming in and replacing them. That's how boring this year's been. Like I mentioned earlier, the biggest selling rap albums this year, half of them are from last year. Like 2025 just feels like it's been a dud. And labels are also investing heavily into artists that play it super safe. For example, two of the biggest artists right now, Taylor Swift and Morgan Wallen, just put out some pretty big, bloated, bland albums. The 3Bs, if you will. Morgan in particular put out an album with 37 songs, many of which were pretty bland, average, boring country songs. And don't get me wrong, it's not bad, it's just underwhelming. Regardless, he was able to break records thanks to this album. On the flip side, Taylor Swift just put out her album with less songs, but she spam released 34 different versions of this album, and this resulted, of course, in her breaking a record for album sales, despite it being an album that many thought was bad or boring. The point is, neither of these two albums produced a hit that we all know and love, and maybe you do, but do all of us? Are we all singing it at school, or with our friends in the car, or at the bar, or wherever? I don't think so. But this music, despite how boring or bland many may think it is still widely appealing and prints money for both the artist and the record labels. It's like the music industry version of a content farm. Don't get me wrong, again, there are still innovators and exciting artists in pop music, but a lot of it is bloated, bland, and boring. The 3Bs. However, I think this is bigger than music. Apart from just the record labels causing problems, I feel like society as a whole may have an issue as well. There are more genres and even more music out now than ever before. Thanks to the internet and progressions in technology, there is a sound for everyone out there. But back in the day, all the music you had access to was what was in the record stores or CD shops. So chances were you were much more likely to be listening to more similar music as your peers. Nowadays though, everyone is so hyper individualized. There are hundreds of different scenes in different genres, in different pockets of different communities. This is of course a great thing, that people can enjoy their niche of music easier than ever before, but it's also contributed to a lack of community across society. There isn't a monoculture like there used to be. Monoculture is a concept in pop culture studies in which facets of popular culture are experienced by everyone at once, either globally or nationally. This isn't a widely accepted term in the sociology world, but I feel like it's pretty fitting. And many in the sociology world argue that monoculture ended by the 21st century, mainly toward the end of the 2010s, due to the rise of streaming media and the fracturing of popular culture. Patrick CC touched on this in his video titled The Death of Mainstream, which I think is very applicable here. Not only do we have infinite music to choose from, but we have so many things to entertain us and occupy our time. Amazing YouTube videos like this one, tons of shows and movies, and of course the lovely short form content that you can effortlessly scroll for hours. In an article by Vox, the writer said, "We're in the midst of the streaming wars, with so many different media products and platforms competing for our attention. Journalists and critics are worried that the huge popularity and sense of universality that Avengers and Game of Thrones achieved are now disappearing for good." The writer continued, "The fear is that we exist in a fragmented realm of impenetrable niches and subcultures enabled by streaming media. The second concern is that, because of the pressures of social media and the self-reinforcing biases of recommendation algorithms that drive streaming, culture is becoming more similar than different." And I think what they're trying to say is that culture in these sub-niches is becoming super, unique and uniform, whereas as an entire society, it's very niche down. Of course, this article is speaking on culture in general, including TV, books, everything, not just music. But I think when specifically talking about music, it's rare that we can point out too many monoculture moments in the last 5 years. Apart from maybe some Ice Spice or Sexy Red or the Drake versus Kendrick, Chappell Rowan, and the occasional hit, I feel like there hasn't been a super huge monoculture moment in music in the last few years. The artists and songs I listed were definitely big, but I feel like it wasn't universal. For example, let's just scroll through the Billboard Hot 100 best performing singles of the 2020s. Apart from maybe The Box by Roddy Ricch, how many of these songs were universally loved and listened to by everyone? Maybe Bad Habit by Stevie Steve Lacy. I don't even think that one would count. I'm not sure if I'm making sense right now, if I'm just rambling at this point, but comparing songs from pretty much every decade of the music industry up until recently, it just seems like something's missing. With the endless amount of music, the lack of a monoculture, and everything being so hyper individualized, it's unlikely we will routinely have monoculture again, unless something major changes in society. But here's the deal. There are always artists in the underground scene building off of sounds and innovating. This is happening every day. When an old scene dies